When my wife told me she would be leaving for a week, I was shocked. She said her friends advised her to give me some space, so I could realize how much I depended on her. I didn't understand the need for such a game, but she looked serious and determined, almost as if she wanted to prove something. I stayed quiet, not wanting to create a bigger argument, but deep inside, I felt insulted that she needed to teach me a lesson. The first day after she left, the house felt strangely silent. I expected loneliness to hit me hard, but instead, I felt a sense of freedom. I went about my day, cooked for myself, and even caught up on things I had been putting off. The silence was peaceful, and for the first time, I realized I had been walking on eggshells around her and her constant complaints. By the third day, I started noticing how much more productive and stress-free my life was without her presence. I came home from work, cooked, watched TV, and slept peacefully. There was no nagging, no unnecessary arguments, no demands to run errands late at night. What was supposed to be a lesson, for me, was turning into an eye-opener about the imbalance in our relationship. On the fourth day, her friends began texting me. They asked if I was missing her yet, and whether I had learned to appreciate her more. Their tone was mocking, as if they were waiting for me to beg for her return. That's when it hit me, this wasn't about helping our marriage at all. Her friends were trying to control me through her. They wanted me to look weak, desperate, and dependent. Instead of playing along, I decided to take a different route. I called my lawyer and asked about separation procedures. It wasn't something I had ever seriously considered before, but after those few days, I realized my marriage had become less about love and more about manipulation. I had given her everything, and yet her friends were convincing her that I needed to be put in my place. On the fifth day, I called my wife. She answered with a smug tone, as if expecting me to apologize. Instead, I calmly told her that if she wanted to teach me a lesson, she had succeeded, but not in the way she imagined. I had learned that I didn't need her to live a peaceful and happy life. Her silence on the other end said more than words ever could. She tried to brush it off, saying I was just angry and that we'd laugh about this later. But I wasn't angry, I was clear-headed. I told her I was meeting with a lawyer to discuss separation. Suddenly, her confidence vanished. She started begging me to stop, saying it was her friend's idea and that she never meant for it to go this far. The following days were filled with her apologies and promises to cut off those toxic friends. But something inside me had changed. I couldn't look at her the same way. The fact that she allowed her friends to dictate how she treated me showed me where her priorities truly lay. By the end of the week, when she returned, I had already packed some of her things. I told her that love should not come with tests and manipulations. A marriage should be about partnership, not power plays. Her tears did not move me this time, because I had spent a whole week realizing how peaceful my life could be without her chaos. She tried to convince me to give her another chance, but I knew it was too late. Once trust and respect are broken, they are hard to rebuild. I wasn't leaving because of her absence. I was leaving because her presence had become more harmful than her absence. Her friends never expected their little scheme to backfire so badly. They wanted me to crawl back, but instead, I stood taller than ever. My wife realized too late that when you push someone away to test them, you might just teach them how to live without you. And so, what was meant to be a lesson, for me, turned out to be the final chapter of our marriage. I didn't just learn to live without her, I learned that I was better off without her.